The deeper you go into Amador County's gold country, the more likely you might just hear the sound of fiddles playing along a small town main street. If you're wondering why this giant fiddle is on this building in the middle of nowhere, I'll tell you. John Bartell here, making a little pit stop in Fiddletown. The best time, in my opinion, to come to Fiddletown is during the annual Fiddler's Jam in September. Food, fun, and of course, fiddles will be playing, and if you're lucky, you might just run into longtime resident Ronald Schofield.
Ride around, little doggies, ride around real slow.
Oddly, Ron plays the guitar, not the fiddle. The 92-year-old is a true cowboy. He and his wife settled down here 50 years ago after a 3,000-mile covered wagon trip. No joke.
One of the better experiences in a person's life that you could ask, you just get a taste of what the pioneers went through.
Anyways, being the storyteller Ron is, I asked how Fiddletown got its name. According to him, it started with some gold miners from Missouri in the 1800s.
When there was nothing else to do, they'd sit around playing their fiddles and singing and just around camp.
Fast forward to today, and you'll find fiddles are still playing. That's why they built this giant fiddle statue on top of the dance hall. I hear this is the world's largest fiddle.
It has claims to be.
Town historian Elaine Zorba says at one time this was the largest fiddle, but a quick internet search will show you that Nova Scotia, Canada has a much bigger one. That said, I like Fiddletown's fiddle better. It just recently got a makeover.
This time it was made of fiberglass because in the past it was made of wood, and you know what happens with weathering and wood.
Speaking of weathering, many of the old wood buildings in Fiddletown have actually weathered quite well, including the old post office, the saloon, and the general store, which makes some pretty great handmade toffee. I can see why people come in here. Very good. Other than the giant fiddle, the main attraction in town is the Chu Key Museum, which was also a general store, a pharmacy, and a gambling hall. Fiddletown was actually one of the few towns in the 1800s that allowed Chinese people to own property.
It's a time capsule, really, of 100 years, more than 100 years, of Chinese residency.
At its peak during the Gold Rush, more than 2,000 people lived in Fiddletown. Today, just a few hundred remain. And if you ask Ronald, the ones who stayed were the good ones.
It's really nice to find that there are still good people around.
From the giant fiddle in Fiddletown, I'm John Bartell. Hope to see you on the Backroads.